Well, hey, Christy.
Kelly, hi. It is so good to see you. Do you know how much I've missed you?
I have missed you. It feels like we haven't talked, although I know we've been on work calls together. We haven't done podcast talking for like a million years.
Do you know who's benefited from this?
I don't
My
know.
therapist. I've seen my
Really?
therapist twice in the past 3 weeks, and I hadn't seen him in like 7 months. And I'm like, what is happening to me? And it was like, wait a minute. It's because Kelly's not around.
I need my outlet.
I'm like, I'm not talking through my feelings where everyone who wants to hear them can hear them. That's the problem.
So this podcast, what you're saying, is actually saving you money.
It is saving me money. It is, because I'm like, what is different in the last couple of weeks with me? Something's off. And I just realized it's you.
Well,
I mean, I'm not going to cry because
don't cry. It's okay to cry, but you don't need to. Yeah, it's funny. It's this weird like outlet that you didn't know was an outlet because we just have fun when we're doing it. And then when you're not doing it, it's like, oh my God, is there nothing like this in my week this week? It feels like forever, but I think it has been 3 weeks. But that's the summer thing, right? You're like mixed schedules, and we've done a lot of things in the last 3 weeks. Not all of them fun, but we've been busy. Too
many things. This is definitely a too many things. My kids start school mid next week.
Yes.
Thursday, half day, and then full day on Friday. And I can't tell you, I am just so ready for consistency.
I know.
I'm ready for my schedules to not be all over the place. I'm ready to not like one day, the sitter can't watch Presley or Colton. I mean, Colton goes to camp because he needs that kind of structure. But like, I am just ready for some normal, even though it comes with like, sports schedules and we're busy nonstop. It's like, at least it's normal. I know what to expect. Yes.
Yeah. We were talking about what are we going to cover this week? And really, it's a catch up. But if you had to pull all of the things that we've both respectively done in the last few weeks together, the theme would be, how did adulthood become one giant operations department? Because that's what we've been doing, mostly with chaos, courtesy of your summer breaks.
I mean, I feel, well, you don't have small children to deal with, so perhaps we're at equal parity on this one. But I think we should start with the fact that you decided to take the longest route in your move ever. Because when you told me what you were doing, I was appalled. And immediately needed to go sleep for a month.
Yeah. You're like, no, thank you. I'm out. Yeah. In fairness, my husband has driven across the United States twice in the last 3 weeks, which no, thank you. But I have done it once, and I have done it 2 other times. But this time I had to drive. All the other times I was a passenger princess with like one courtesy shift of driving because I figured Andrew might need a nap. Or at least just so I could say I drove. But this time, legit, the whole damn way. Because we had 2 vehicles coming back this way. One, that is always the reason we drive back, or we, meaning Andrew. I sometimes fly like a normal person. But we have a dog that is too big to fit in the cabin of planes, and so we refuse to put him in cargo. He's flown in cargo one time when we moved to the US, and he was terrified. So we've never done that again. So we drive with Oliver. So that explains one vehicle. But the other vehicle is my daughter's vehicle because she's coming back here. I'm now in Toronto area. She's coming back here to go to school at the University of Guelph, which is very exciting. But she needed her car. And while my preference was that we hire a transport company and transport said car, I feel like Andrew, as a dad, wanted to be that guy who was taking care of his daughter's stuff. And so the original plan was to tow her car behind his pickup truck. And I think the sub benefit was he could tow something behind his pickup truck, which makes him feel like a man's man. However, my daughter had too much shit. And between the pickup truck, though we have Thule boxes and all sorts of storage options on it to fit her stuff, still couldn't fit all her stuff. And so we had to pivot and get a closed U-Haul trailer to fit all her shit, which would take the truck's ability to tow the car out of the equation. And it meant I had to drive her car.
Okay, I have questions.
Yes.
Why did she not drive her own damn car?
You sound like her two brothers who are like, oh, I also have an idea. She could drive her own damn car.
Like,
So
is Andrew interested in adopting me? I did not have a good dad.
Yeah.
Also, why was Emery not able
Why was she not able? So
to drive her own vehicle?
Em has a cat, and she just could not imagine sticking a cat in a car for 4 days. Like, how does that work? A dog, you can let out every 3 hours. We stop. Oliver goes pee. He jumps back in the truck. No issues. He goes to sleep. The cat, not sure how that works because every time Emery puts her in the carrier, she shits in the carrier. So Emery's like, how's this going to work? So that was her main reason. And I'm like, okay, all the more reason to put it in a transport truck and have them transport it for us. But here we are. Here's the bright spot in all of this.
I'm waiting.
I got a lot of time on my own. I listen to a lot of murder podcasts. Also,
Great.
Why are they always women being murdered by their husbands? Fuck that. And then I got to see everything because the 2 times that I have enjoyed the drive out here where I was a passenger, we stayed low going across the US because we were coming back for Christmas. And so you try to avoid the snow. This time
You mean south when you say
Yes.
low.
Yeah, low. Like we went through
South.
New Mexico and touching Texas and going that way to avoid the snow. This time, because it's summer, we went further north. So we went up through St. George, Utah, which we've been to, and it's beautiful for the Red Rocks. But it meant that we then were going through Colorado completely. Gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Hi, Colton.
He wants to work up here in my office with me, but Colton, we're doing our podcast right now. And in about 30 minutes, you can come up here while mommy works. Does that sound good? Hey, love you. Can you close mommy's door, please? Can you riddle me this?
Yeah.
Why does camp end 2 weeks before school starts?
These are just poorly scheduled camps. Like, this is the worst time to end camp. Do people just take vacation?
I don't know. Because he's bored. Even though I have a sitter and they're like, he's bored because he's used to his camp schedule, which is like
Yeah.
go with his little buddies.
Yeah.
And so
You're
I have,
like,
as
2
we
weeks?
just saw, very sad Colton. We might have to.
He did look like a sad Colton. I'll see if I can put an emoji on top of his face so he's a Mr.
Please do.
Colton. And he
But he was very sad.
He did look very like, oh, this is dumb.
He wants to bring his little laptop up to my office
And
and
work
type
beside
with me.
you.
Yeah.
He'd be like your little assistant. That works. That works. He just can't sit and listen to the podcast because Mommy and Auntie Kelly swear too much.
Way too much.
Anyway, so the good news is we went through Colorado, so I got to see beautiful things I'd never seen before. And then, hey, Nebraska, you're boring. Really, really boring. And also a very wide state. I'm like, are we not through Nebraska yet? But anyways.
You are bored and wide.
Bored and wide. You are boring, flat, and wide. None of the things
that sounds like nothing that anyone would ever say about either you or I. You are boring, flat, and wide.
I mean, 2 out of 3 would be wrong.
I don't think you're wide.
I can feel my bum becoming more and more of a pancake. I was like, at the end of this trip, I'm going to look like Billy Bob Thornton in a pair of jeans, which is really just basically wear a belt and then it's hanging off my flat ass.
Amazing. And didn't you have like a big work function, like conference right before
Immediately
all of this
before
too?
Yes.
So we had our own. I'm tired, and so if I stop and just stare, I apologize because I'm really tired, and I'm tired for many reasons. Number one being I have children, but my friend and I took our kids to Florida. We took them to 30A Rosemary Beach, that area. Hard pass forever on that.
You'd been there before, though. I thought you guys were returning. Oh, okay.
No,
why?
we had been to Gulf Shores. So I'm going to give you a couple reasons. First of all, the tropical storm came through, and the water that you pay for, that's this beautiful color, looks like trash. Also, the beaches were closed for a couple of days
No.
because the water was so high. Like there was no beach. The water was so high and the rip tides were that bad. And then when we were able to get on the beach, they were red flags. And, of course, Presley wants to go. Colton's like, I'm going to go dig in the dirt and or sand. Presley wants to go out in the waves and like, mommy, come with me.
Yeah.
And I went out and Kelly, they were so, the currents, everything were so strong that I felt like I had my ass kicked.
Did you go out on the red flags though? Like, were there?
I did. So I made which I shouldn't have in hindsight because 3 people drowned on that beach that week.
Yeah, I was going to say, did they not have lifeguards saying, get the fuck out of the water?
They didn't have lifeguards either, which I didn't know about this beach. So I was very disappointed in.
Yeah.
So Presley, 11-year-old Presley who thinks she knows everything, I'm making her wear a life jacket out there. And she's like, well, my friend doesn't have to. I'm like, well, okay.
We might read about your friend on the news, unfortunately.
Well, I didn't say that. And also it's my friend's daughter, but she's also like a foot taller than Presley, so she can touch. But it doesn't even matter if you can touch because those currents are crazy. I mean, this wave kicked my ass so bad that it ripped my estrogen patch off. That bad.
It's bad.
So on vacation with my children, and when I say vacation, it was a family trip. Let's be real. We rented a place. We cooked there. We got up, we did the mom thing every single day. While we were on that vacation, and I say that in quotes, my friend and I did book a trip to Mexico by ourselves.
A true vacation. Like a real, I'm up and relaxed vacation. That's a vacation.
I'm going to need someone to bring me drinks by the pool versus having to sunblock sandy children every 90 minutes. And I know that sounds so awful as I say it out loud, but it is a shit ton of work to take children to the beach.
And especially anywhere. As a single parent doing that, because you are snack mom, sunscreen mom, lifeguard, referee, all the thing. And also then listen to them. I'm bored because they've had to sit still for 10 minutes. And then you're like, I need a holiday from my holiday.
Well, what's crazy though, Colton did a good job. I mean, Colton gets the badge of honor for that trip. Presley, on the other hand, the way that our condo opened, it opened directly to a beautiful pool. Like we were on the ground level. Okay. You could literally walk.
You'd find me at the pool. Yes.
Hey, me too, actually. Yeah. And oh, by the way, the beach part, it was so crowded on the days it was open. It was like, I was like tiptoeing in between people to get to where I wanted to go. No, absolutely not. I need my space. I need room. And now you have my children on a beach with so many freaking people. It's hard for me to keep track of them. And there's no fucking lifeguard.
Yeah, I don't like that no lifeguard thing. Yeah.
I'm a hard out moving forward. And it's really expensive. So we went to Gulf Shores, which doesn't have, the water isn't as beautiful, but like we could breathe in Gulf Shores. There was there was a lifeguard. There was, I mean, it was just so much more relaxing for me than this trip was. But thank God we did, like the first 2 days it rained and the kids just played in the pool in the rain.
Yeah, as long as it's not thunder and lightning, you're like, okay, they'll play in there. You're getting wet in the pool
I'm sitting there. My friend and Sarah and I are sitting on our patio watching the kids in the pool having wine. So like that was cool.
Exactly. That part's cool.
2 days were actually kind of my favorite in hindsight.
Yeah, but my friend tastes good under this umbrella.
So also too, you have different mom styles. Now, my friend Sarah and I, we work really well together, but there were 5 kids. She has 3 and I have 2. And so we're outnumbered, clearly.
But are you compatible mom styles?
We are compatible. We have one very large difference, which is, so when her littles get up, she has 2, she has one that's a year older than Colton and one that's a year younger than Colton. And they get up early and she's kind of an early riser. And so is Colton. So I felt the need, like normally with Colton, and hey, here's where anyone can judge me. If I'm tired, I'm like, go grab yourself some breakfast and have some fun on your iPad. I'm sleeping. Right. Agreed. But she gets up. And so since she was up, I felt the need to get up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to watch my child.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I'm with you on I remember when Emery, she was always an early riser. She is no longer, but certainly until she was probably like 5, she was an early riser, like before the sunrise that early. And it was when she was born, it was when DVDs were out. So there were no streaming services, but at least you had DVDs. And thank God for them, because I would just throw in a Dora DVD and then it was on repeat. I'd lay on the couch and it would be on repeat. And then it would, convert to the next episode. She would have her cereal and I would be up in so much that I am out of bed, but not awake because I'm asleep on the couch. So if the house light's on fire, I'm right here. Can you just wake me up quickly? But I'm with you. If you're at a cottage with other families, you don't want you're not Colton's not going to stay in the bedroom if he hears kids out in the kitchen. So you got to get up. So you came back more tired than you left.
Well, I did. And then we got back at like 8:00 on a Sunday night. And we had Monday, which, I mean, getting home at 8:00 with Sandy suitcases on a Sunday night doesn't really set you up for success on Monday. And I had a really busy work week too, because by Wednesday, I had to turn around and fly to Austin, Texas, because we were shooting a commercial. And shooting commercials sounds really, really cool and fun and amazing. But here's what it really looks like. It looks like you're sitting in a hot ass warehouse in Austin, Texas, which I was in a room that had air conditioning, but it still wasn't cool enough for me, with several people that are your clients staring at a screen for 12 hours and making sure that you're distracting everyone enough so they only look at the screen when they're supposed to, when the director and the creative team have figured things out and actually want your feedback and input.
Yes.
And thank God these clients are dreamy. I love them. I love talking to them. I love being with them. Like, they're amazing. But it was also our first time meeting truly in person. And for your first true date to be 12 hours in a small room together.
That's an immersive
pretty immersive experience. So it's funny though, because it's like, and this happens on all sets or most all sets. People they just tell you anything. Yeah. Because there's a lot of downtime in between setups and takes and whatever. And you don't want to schedule a lot of calls because you need to be paying attention, because you're spending, during a shoot day, money's just going tick, 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 every
you don't want to redo. You don't want to retake.
You don't want to redo. You don't want to get into overtime. So like, you have to be available to approve it when you want to approve, when it needs to be approved, or guess what? We're just moving on.
So you end up with a 12-hour shoot day and then a 3-hour dinner. And you're like, I've been up forever.
So we did the dinner the night before, and this is hysterical. So sweet Jacqueline, and I love Jacqueline. She's so cool. Okay. She's very cool. And we're in Austin, and Austin's a very cool place. Have you been to Austin?
Yes, because we went to the Formula One room a couple of years ago.
That's right. I'm like, did I see you in Austin? Anyways, Austin is very cool, and Jack is very cool. And so she couldn't go to the client dinner, which was the night before. So because we had a lot of like martial arts type stuff in this particular spot we were shooting, we had to go. Our pre-pro took a long time, right? That's where you go through all the production stuff. We had like a 4-hour pre-production, so that everything was set to go and we didn't miss it. So we went to dinner after. Jacqueline couldn't attend with us because she had something with her son. So she books us this really cool restaurant. Here's the thing about really cool restaurants. It was so loud. It was so loud, and we couldn't hear each other. And everybody at the table was between, I think the youngest was like maybe 40. We were like 45 and up, and several in the 50s. Or very close. And so I say to the server, I'm like, hey, it's really loud and this music's very loud. He's like, yeah, that's just our vibe. And I can't identify half the things on the menu. And I look at it and it's like this, it was it was some sort of fusion restaurant that had, but it was like Caribbean fusion. And so I'm looking at the menu and all I see is heartburn. I look across the table.
Especially I'm probably late too. You're like, I'm going to lay down right after I eat this and die in my sleep.
My art director friend. And I said, he's an art director. He's a creative director. He's genius. And I was like, I'm going to go to the car and get Pepsi. Do you need some? And he's like, absolutely.
Pre-gaming takes on a whole other meaning when you're over 40. Even last night, we went out for wings at Andrew's best friend in the world, since he's been friends since grade 2, and my husband's over 60. It's been a long time. He has a restaurant. So we went there last night and we had wings and we were walking into a Marshall's. I'll more on that later. And just like, I already know I need Tums before I go to bed. You just, if you know, you know.
And it was funny. I mean, we had a blast. Again, these clients are just like most lovely people ever. But I mean, man, I wish I could have had a therapist in that room the next day, just like recording all of us and our stories. Like I'm just, it was hysterical. And then one of the VPs got a call. It was Friday afternoon, and gets a little thing from HR, someone in HR going saying, "Hey, can you give me a call real quick?"
Never take an HR call on a Friday.
So I know. And I was like, you're getting fired. So it became this big joke. Well, then she disappeared for a while. She comes back and then she disappears. And then she actually sends the other VP that was there out to call HR. And I look at our buddy there and I'm like, bro, you're the one who's getting fired. Like,
somebody's getting fired.
The marketing director. I'm like, this does not look good. And then and then he leaves. Both of them, everyone disappears for a minute. He comes back and sits down and we go through a really kind of complex sequence. And I'm like, are the ladies going to want to, I'm trying really hard not to say anyone's name. Are the ladies going to want to come back and approve this? And he's like, no, it's approved. We're moving on. And so he approves it and we just keep moving. And our ladies rejoin us eventually.
Oh, okay. I was like, are the ladies already on an airplane back home?
No. Or they were gone for quite a minute. And then we approved 2 more scenes. And he's like, I'm just messing with you. I was fired 2 hours ago. He was not.
Oh my Jesus. I'm like, is he joking or not joking? Oh my Lord.
He was totally joking, but he did it so deadpan. I was like,
well played.
Okay, this is what's happening right now. Oh my God.
My Lord.
So anyways, it was fun. I mean, it was a 12-hour shoot day on a Friday. And then, I feel like I should let you talk for a minute, but I have one more story for this disaster of a Friday night. The shoot went great. Everyone was lovely. So the clients fly out. We have to finish. So we stay later. So agency stays later. And we had reservations at a restaurant in Austin. And Austin's gotten really big and it's really crowded and it's really full.
Yes.
And we miss our reservations. And it's a Friday night in Austin. Apparently, like we couldn't even order pizza. So
how big was your group at that point? How many people were you trying to?
There's just 4 of us.
So it's not a huge group even.
No, it was just 4 of us. And we're like, we'll just go back to the hotel and like get pizza. And Jacqueline's driving and I get carsick. I am also not used to cities, like super congested areas with vehicles anymore.
Right.
And it like she's driving and looking and I'm trying to look and there's like people walking out into the street. Like I got super carsick and then I was trying to find us a place. And then it was bouncy and all over the place. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. And she's like, you're being really, really dramatic. I'm like, Jacqueline, I am about to fucking puke. And I think I'm going to have a panic attack.
I would have maybe just puked on her to prove her wrong.
Well, we get out of the car.
Do I see now?
She's like still making fun of me. And finally I was like, stop picking on me. That was not funny for me. That was not me being dramatic. That was me literally being afraid that we were going to die and my children would have to be raised by my ex-husband. And that's a scary thought. And then I'm also trying to find us a restaurant or a place we can just get pizza. And I'm like, what do you mean we can't order pizza for another 45 minutes from this restaurant to pick it up? Like, can we go to a fucking Chili's? And I don't like Chili's at all. I don't like chain restaurants. But at this point, I'm like, it needs to be cold and have a bar.
Yeah, I just need a cold drink and sit down. I will say, I don't dislike takeout food at all, but I do dislike having it on repeat. So when we were leaving California, we were cleaning out our house because we moved all of our stuff. And then Emery's stuff was the last stuff in. And then we had to just make sure the house was probably cleaner than when we arrived in it 3 years ago, because that's just the way I am. Anyway, so that afternoon, we were like, hey, do you just want to grab McDonald's real quick? Because then we're going to hit the road and start our 40-hour trek. And so we grabbed McDonald's, no big deal. Start driving. That night, we got to Mesquite, Nevada. Who knew? At this casino hotel, which actually was like $65 and ended up being brilliant, humongous, of course. And it had all of these separate buildings of like motel setup. And the one building was dedicated pet friendly because it was right across the parking lot from a dog park that they had built, which is, if you travel with your dogs, just the best thing. Because basically they can get off their leash and rip around and also take a poop, and you can just, they have garbage bags and the whole thing. So it's very well set up. So we go there, and the only thing open at that point in time is their 24-hour Burger King in the hotel. So Andrew goes to get that, and the lineup is like 7 people deep and 1 person working. And he's like, I'm just going to go drive across the street to the McDonald's. And so we had, you guessed it, McDonald's for dinner the day that we had McDonald's. No, we had McDonald's for lunch that day and then had McDonald's for dinner that day. And you best guess where we grabbed breakfast the next morning. You got it. McDonald's. I felt like the guy who did the movie Supersize Me. I'm like, I could not do that movie. I couldn't do it. I don't want We never had McDonald's again the rest of the trip. I was just like, no shade to McDonald's, but I was like, even your crispy Diet Coke hasn't got me. What I did do, though, was a Maverick. There's this chain of like gas stations, Maverick, brilliant Diet Cokes. And so every day I got this humongous extra ice Diet Coke. And Andrew's like, are you having a Diet Coke? It's like 8:30 in the morning. Don't judge my drink choices. Bro, at one point in our drive, I think I sent you a picture. It was 127 degrees Fahrenheit.
You did. I was like, are you in hell? Like actual hell.
So you do need a crispy Diet, not a hot coffee. Like 127. It was still over 100 degrees when we got in at like 10 at night. I'm like, oh God. This made my decision to not move to Scottsdale, as you know, was on our short list of locations. But I was like, I have a hair stuck to my face. Excuse me. I was like, we can't live there. I couldn't live in this. Like, oh God, spicy.
It's hot.
But anyways, that was our takeout McDonald's. Too many McDonald's takeouts.
Something that came up on set was McDonald's.
Boy.
And first of all, it said like, I hate their fries. And when I said this, Kelly, everyone in the room looked at me like I was not human.
Like I'm looking at you right now. Like, what the hell?
I don't like their fries. I actually don't like their food. I don't like their food. Not yet, buddy. Sorry. Honey, hold on. I know, but when I'm done, I will let you know. Go find Miss Cadence, please. Hold on. I gotta text the sitter and be like, Cadence, hey, I need him not to come in my office for the next 30 minutes. Anyway, so everyone's looking at me like I've committed murder. I'm the world's worst person because I don't like McDonald's fries. I don't like them. They're not that good.
What is it you don't like? Is it the taste, the texture? Like, what is it?
I think they're just blah to me. Like I'm a Whataburger fry with gravy. Like
what is? I don't think I've had their fries. So what is their fry like?
They're a bit thicker.
Mm-hmm.
They're crinkly. I always find McDonald's fries get soggy like within like a second and a half. I don't think they're salty enough. Yes, I said it. They're not salty enough. And also about eating at McDonald's, first, I have to eat there all the time because I have small children. I actually don't really eat there anymore. I just order them crap and find something else for myself. But, McDonald's, like, I'm hungry 2 hours later.
2 hours later.
Like I can eat 1,000 calories. Not that I have done this in years, but I can eat 1,000 calories of McDonald's and still eat.
Have
2 hours later because there's nothing of nutritional value in it.
Yeah, there's no substance to it. Yeah, well, I would get behind your strong reaction to French fries if you were telling me that about In-N-Out French fries, because
those are gross too.
They're disgusting. I'm like, I had In-N-Out on my last day in California just on principle. I'm like, I'm not gonna get to have you, so let me just have one last go. And this time I was like, I'm gonna give their French fries one more chance. And I've had people tell me that they're the best when they're super, super hot and fresh. So this particular time, they happen to be super, super hot and fresh. And I'm like, okay, so this is as good as these fries are gonna get. Let me see. I don't understand how they have mastered the art of making them taste overcooked and raw at the same time. I'm like, why does this taste like you know how a underdone potato has still a starchy taste to it? So how do they simultaneously taste burnt and starchy, and have they turned them into powdered potatoes? It just is so dust-like. I don't know in and out what you've done, but it is a polarizing topic because people either love them or hate them. But I've never had anyone tell me they hated McDonald's fries. That was like
No,
a
I don't.
shocker.
I would never waste calories on those. I just don't like them. They're not good. If I went and I love French fries. I love potatoes. I'm Irish, Like,
Yeah.
so if there's
Love
a
me a
potato, I'm here
potato.
for it.
So much better accent, by the way.
What?
That was a much better accent than our World Cup episode where you were like, I've totally killed the Irish accent here.
Yeah. I can't do it on command, but I can get I can get into it and stay there if I want, if the mood hits me right. But I love bar fries. Like when you go to a
Yes.
bar and they're big, a little bit bigger, and they're
Yes.
crispy
And if they have the
and then
skin,
tender. And
do you like the ones that have a little piece of the skin on the ends where they
sure.
didn't peel the potato? The best French fries growing up, Hockey Arena French fries, like the little snack shack at hockey arenas, because usually they were like a whole potato, not peeled, just through the little thing they tamp and it breaks them, and they're probably like a half-inch thick of a French fry. Delicious. Love. Lots of vinegar, so much that it clears your sinuses. Yes.
I don't know about the vinegar, but that's okay. I'll let you have it. I am a sucker for tater tots.
I don't
Kelly.
I've
never met a tater tot I don't love.
Do you like all these restaurants that now do loaded taters tots? So they have made poutine versions of tater tots, and
I
no,
mean,
you like a pure
no,
unadulterated potato tot.
I'll put chili, cheese, everything on them, but I don't eat them that way because I'm always on a diet. So if I yes, my guilty pleasure is give me some tater tots, melt some cheese and on top of them with some bacon bits and chives, and let's go.
Sour cream. Maybe I would say the thing I like about tater tots is that they most closely resemble hash browns, like the hash browns you get in a McDonald's breakfast, which are
I love
delicious.
McDonald's hash browns.
Delicious.
So there you go. I am human after all.
Yeah.
I love their hash browns.
So that's probably what I like about tater tots is their proximity to that. I don't know. Maybe because sometimes they're dry. I don't know. I don't hate them, but I wouldn't cross the street to get to them.
I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you about that. It's funny. The older I get, the less. Just fast food in general. I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, that was it.
No,
When
thank you.
by our second night, we were in Vail, Colorado area, and so I'm like, I'd like a sit-down restaurant. I would like my food to come on a plate that needs to go in a dishwasher, and I would like someone to bring it to me. So we found this restaurant called Sauce in the Vail Valley. It was close to our hotel. That's the only reason we found it. But Christy will love this because I mentioned you while we were there. They were dog friendly. They were dog friendly. So we had Oliver on the patio. I mentioned you. You thought that was very sweet until you realized, oh, I was talking shit about you and your hate of having dogs on patios.
Find them on patios. I don't like them inside
in the restaurant.
Yes.
But okay, that's fair. But the true sign of a dog-friendly restaurant is the fact that they brought a bowl of ice water in a dog bowl for the dog before we ever got our ice waters. So I was like,
that would have pissed me off.
Oh no, I'm just I'm here for that. I'm like, good for you. Anyways, what I was most happy about ordering was, pardon me, plain chicken with a fettuccine type pasta and green beans. I was just like, I just want some plain pasta, some plain chicken, and some green beans, and then a flight of white wine. Because if I couldn't take an actual flight, I was going to drink a flight.
You sent me a picture of that flight. This is also when you were sending me temperatures, I was like, you're going to need to share your location with me.
Yeah, so you never go there?
Well, no, just I was afraid for you. I'm like, where in hell are you?
Yeah.
I'm sweating in the middle of a warehouse in Austin.
Yeah, I feel like our coolest morning was maybe 74. It was just always warm. And we went through Nebraska, even in Nebraska, it was warm. But we went through Nebraska and then we're into I'm going to get all of these wrong, but I know I swung real close by you. And then we were like in Indiana and Illinois, and I probably missed a state in there, and then Michigan, and finally home.
We went to the Royals game last night with our dear friend Casey.
Yes, Casey,
Mr.
hello
Herbis.
again.
He
And
said
it
to
was
tell you hi.
hi,
Well,
Casey.
a couple of things were going on here. We met his son, Cash. So I had a little story about all that. That's fun. But we ate at a bar. Like, we ate bar food. And then, of course, I had some cocktails because I'm out at a Royals game. It was so
Yeah.
fun. We won. It was just a wonderful time. My children were kind of assholes, but that's to be expected. They're little. Casey has this lovely son, and he's 15. And can I just tell you, Presley and her little friend we brought,
Twitter paid it.
giggly. Like, it was like, I was like embarrassed. They were, well, they're not really boy crazy, but I'm realizing they're not boy crazy about boys their own age, but a really good looking, tall 15-year-old. We're here for
They're
that.
like, we're here for that.
And they
Okay.
were just out of their little minds.
Super obvious about it. What did he do? Was he playing into it, or was he like, my God, these little girls?
Well, I mean, of course, like, he was very kind, and he just kind of like, I think he knew what was going on, but he's also a 15-year-old boy. So, Casey's like, he doesn't need any more confidence, but he was great. I mean, he was great with them, and he was so great with Colton. But they were like having him hold their purses by the end of the night. I'm like, guys,
I'm sorry, I didn't even have a purse when I was 11. I'm like, hold my purse. What's in the purse?
their phone.
Their phone and a lip gloss. That's it. Just like my
And their
purse.
wallets, because remember, Presley's on a budget.
He's on a budget. He
And
does have
she,
that
when I
wallet.
say no, she has to pay for it herself. So she's learned to
Nice.
now bring her wallet places.
Smart.
But we had it was really cute, and we had so much fun. But the food and the mix of, I mean, I don't usually on a Wednesday night eat bar food and drink
Drink
cocktails.
late. And then 2 cups of coffee on a Thursday. And we all know what that means. Christy's favorite topic. We interrupt this podcast to bring you a poop.
I was trying to hold it. I really was. And I was like, this is not working out. And I can't focus on anything else. And I can't focus on what I don't even know what happened in the last 5 minutes before that happened, what we were talking about. Were we talking about how, when did our lives just become like so much about project management and just getting things to where they need to be, and constantly figuring out logistics? I mean, even last night, the logistics, right? I hate driving.
Yes,
right?
I do.
And I really hate driving downtown. And so, we got a car to take us down there. We had dinner at a bar where Colton, they didn't have chicken tenders. I'm like, what bar does not have chicken strips?
Or nuggets? Chicken wings or anything?
They had wings, but wings, I mean, Colton's not eating wings. So he's freaking out because he doesn't like their fries and he doesn't like their hot dog. And I mean,
worst things that could ever happen to a 6-year-old.
I know. Oh my God. 7. He's 7.
I feel like I was giving credit because I was going to say 5 and I knew he was 6. Turns out I'm a year behind.
He's going into 2nd grade. Oh my gosh. That brings up this other thing. Press is going to hate me for telling this story, but here we go. So Press is going into middle school.
Yes.
She's anxious about it. She's waking up in the middle of the night. I am not sleeping. Okay. So for anyone who I deal with over the next week or so until things get normal, I'm not sleeping, which means I might just start crying randomly for no reason, because that's how my body, like when I don't sleep, I cry super easy. I'm all weepy. Anyways, Presley's very like just, and I get it. It's different. It's new. Yeah. She's on a new soccer team. Her entire volleyball team this year is new. So all this new stuff is, well, not entire. There's 5 of them. From the 10 they had before, 5 are brand new. And so she's adjusting to a lot of different stuff and, middle school. So they have 2 different teams at school. They have team 1 and team 2, and they're different core teachers. All the electives are still whatever, but apparently team 1's core teachers are meaner than team 2's.
And this is based on what intel?
The intel from their older siblings.
Okay. So feeling like a valid resource for this type of information. Okay.
I mean, one of her best friends' older sister, who I adore, and it's kind of widely known I guess, because I asked one of the other moms. She's like, "Oh yeah, who has a kid in middle school? Like, you want to be on team too?" So the app goes live. Everyone's schedules on it. First of all, the thing crashes multiple times when people can't get in, and then I get in and I look at it and it says team one. And I'm just like, and Presley's, sitting on my shoulder trying to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
get in
Which
there. It's
one
her
did I
whole
get?
life. She melted down so epically. She was crying and screaming, my life is over. All my
No.
friends are going to be on team two. I'm going to be by myself with the mean teachers. I'm like, bro, hold on a second. You don't
I was
even know where anyone else is.
Yeah,
And then
that's what
one
I
of
was
her
gonna ask. Where are the
immediately we get a
friends?
text from one of her best friends. She's on team two. Presley's inconsolable, just
No.
crying. And like, I mean, my mom is looking at me and we're like, I mean, you would have thought someone just died in front of her. And I'm
No.
like, hey, Bug, you need to go to your room. This is too much. You need to go breathe and whatever. And I'm texting my little family of moms and I'm like, God, dear God, tell me someone's on team one with Presley. By the end of the night, turns out not only her cousin, but like all of her friends are on, guess what?
Team one.
Team one. Crisis averted. I mean, I had to go take a Xanax, but everything else
Yeah,
was
you're
fine.
like, as long as you got that out of your system, I go.
And then sweet Colton comes over and he's like, "Who am I with?" And he got, of course, the best teacher, because as Colton does. Oh, by the way, Presley is like, I never get at what I want in my life. I never get on the teams I
Yeah.
want to get on. This is the kid that plays on a national volleyball team. I mean, she clearly doesn't ever get what she wants.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And Colton's like, "Oh, I think Mrs. Miller's nice." And then I got to tell him his girlfriend was in his class, and then he was through the
Roof.
moon. He's so excited now. He's like, "When school start? When school start?" Because I think it's this year every single day again.
Let's just hope it stays in a good way with the girlfriend, because if it goes tits up, it's really gonna make it hard if you see it every day.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm like, well, but they've been together since kindergarten. Like they met, fell in love. They're together. Like she made him a 3D rose. I mean,
Mm,
I
that's
said,
so
"Why do you love her, Colt?" He's told me he loved her, and I said, "Why do you love her, buddy?" And he said, "'Cause she's kind and she makes me calm."
That is a good that I thought he was gonna say, "'Cause she's pretty and I like her hair." Oh, I like it.
No, isn't that sweet?
Beautiful. That is
So
very
we're in
sweet.
the like get ready for school. Everyone needs everything. There's 25 different back to school bashes on the calendar. I'm like, what is
No.
this? Why are we have to show up? I don't understand. Presley, and it's dad's night, but Presley wants me to go. So like it's just all this. Like I'm just like, can we just start school already? Do we
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
have like all this pomp and circumstance before it? Like when I was growing up, it's like go to school.
Yeah, it was like
The end.
nothing, nothing, nothing. First day of school, get up, go. Here's your lunch. Here's your
There was
sandwich with your
no
Jakey bread. Yeah.
But with my peanut butter. Also, I got roasted for not liking peanut butter in our little set room. Like while we were shooting the commercial, someone's like, "Give peanut butter." I was like, "Yeah, I don't like peanut butter." And they're like, "You don't like peanut butter or McDonald's French fries? What the hell is the matter with you?"
I was
Sorry.
going to say the same thing. Who hurt you?
Well, we know the peanut butter story. It made me
We
cry.
know why you don't like peanut butter, but I don't know what you have against McDonald's French fries, but
I just
okay.
explained
Yes.
in detail what
I
I have
know you
against
did.
them. They're
Now
flavorless. I think I used to like them before they made them out of powder.
who didn't used to like them? I will say that I got a McDonald's milkshake, which I remember years and years ago they changed it and wasn't really milk, right? They made it into some ice product. And I didn't realize that so many other places, including In-N-Out, still make them like a proper milkshake. And so I was like, it's 127 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me get a vanilla milkshake. Boo. Gross. No, thank you. So I was against the McDonald's milkshakes because I really like an actual milkshake with all of the fat and flavor in it. But we knew that we'd been traveling for too long when we were excited about getting Chipotle as an option for takeout. When that seems exotic, that's how you know you've been on the road too long. So,
Oh my gosh. I got super Irish because we had been like doing like fancy things like on eating like that place we ate the night before. I couldn't identify anything. It was delicious though. It was actually a really good restaurant. The food was great. And when Jack was like, where do you guys want to eat tonight? I'm like, I want to eat somewhere super cold that has a bar where I can identify everything I'm about to eat.
I'll settle for 3 stars. It doesn't have to be Michelin rated food. Like, I just want to know what the fuck is on my plate.
Like when you were saying the chicken, I'm like, I'll take a piece of chicken and some vegetables. Is that available?
Exactly.
Or a steak and some vegetables?
Oh, I would have murdered a great steak. A steak and a baked potato. Yes.
Every day, all the time.
Maybe that's maybe what I should have for dinner tonight is a steak and a baked potato. I'm already a little anxious about how much food choice I'm going to miss out on moving out of California. I did say to Andrew yesterday, because we were meeting folks at the bar and they're like, oh, where are you from? And it's like, well, we're from California. I'm like, when do we have to stop saying that? Because we're not anymore. Like, I know the odd piece of mail will still trickle there, but we're not. We were saying goodbye to our adventure, our California adventure for now, but we're starting a new one.
Were you sad?
Yeah, I think that it was because it was such a big change and it came literally weeks before COVID hit. So we went into a big family change just a hot second before the whole world changed. So if you think about that timestamp of 2020, January 2020, upending your world to go into this new great adventure, and then the world is like, pause, and it becomes this other adventure. So it was just so much more than I expected it to be. And then as a location, do I think a Canadian moving to California, especially Orange County, California, is the
Southern California.
Southern California.
As California gets.
Yeah.
All the negative stereotypes, okay?
All of the stereotypes of California. But do I think that that's, the bar that you set for what is America, quote unquote? No, Southern California is not the average American city. So anywhere we were going to move away from that was going to feel like a downgrade. So we have to, like, as Andrew's not like, yay, gray skies in Washington. He is very excited about being closer to our boys though. But it's kind of like, we're giving up like 300 plus days of sunshine and perfect weather. It is sort of like, hey, don't set the bar of the difference between living west of Toronto and moving to California and then California to Washington State. You should be thinking, remember living in west of Toronto and moving to Washington State, because that is a very big delta. But California is like dating the most gorgeous captain of the football team, and then the next guy you date is just like a regular Joe, and you're like, boo. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. I'm a
Washington,
little bit remiss.
Kelly thinks you're the bench warmer, just so you know what she's expecting. I will say, as my friend Jacqueline made fun of me for like, you're not a city person anymore. I'm like, also too, I just about vomited. Shut up. But I am a city person. This whole situation with no plan and we're driving around, can we just pull over and stop and figure out where we're going to eat? And I was also hot. That makes everything worse. But I will say this, one of the things, I love Kansas City. And of course, if I got downtown ever, last night was the first time I've been downtown in a long time. I miss the Dallas food scene.
Yes, this is what
Dallas has incredible food. And so maybe I just haven't explored Kansas City to the same level because I am like eating McDonald's French fries with my children.
Yeah, because you have kids, and if you take them into the food scene, you're going to have a moment where it's like, I don't like their fries. They don't have chicken nuggets. So you're like, why would I even do that? I'll just go to McDonald's. At least it's consistent for them. So you don't have the opportunity.
I don't go out to eat with my kids much, honestly. Other than like the drive-through or maybe walk into, because they're not civil. They're feral.
Well, it's a bit of
it's not fun for me.
It's a chicken or the egg situation, though. You either get your kids into that situation and then they become acclimatized to it, or you keep them out of it and then they are terrible at it and they will always be terrible at it.
Great, perfect. So I've ruined my children.
It's not too late, but it's kind of like, this is where you're at. Yeah, but I get it. If you have, it's a lot of the reason we don't take Oliver on lots of exposure. Like if you're at a fair, my dog is so vocal and he's not mean, but he's going to say hi in a very loud way. it's not worth it because other people are like, oh, your dog is so aggressive. No, my dog is not. My dog is a doodle. He's just saying loudly saying hi. Anyway,
I'm
so I
trying to
believe.
pretend that you're not comparing my children to your
No,
dog.
well, I mean,
Just did.
okay. Well, I mean, my children are so much older now that I can't even like make that comparison. They're not.
Also, I'm telling you, children that are rowdy in general are not good restaurant people at
Well,
7.
that's true. They're probably like you're not going to tone
Presley,
them down magically. Yes.
I mean, Presley can eat out for sure. Colton is just like, why are we just sitting here staring at each other?
Yeah. Why is it
Like
so
he's
quiet?
like, this
Yeah.
is boring.
Yeah.
Although last night I thought I bought one of my daughter's calmest friends until the cute boy showed up, and
I love this though.
oh my god, they were like hiding behind menus, like twittering. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, ladies, keep it cool. My god.
But doesn't every girl remember at like 12, 13 meeting that one guy that was so like handsome? I remember my uncle Lance got married in the mid 80s. So I would have been Presley's age, maybe a year or two older. I can't for the life of me remember this groomsman's name now, and he would have easily been in his early to mid 20s. So he was like way older than me. But I remember being so in awe of this guy and how handsome he was and all the things. So I was at my Uncle Lance's house in Toronto a handful of years ago. Now I'm a seasoned woman at this point. Oh no, sorry. I wasn't at his house. I was at his son's wedding, my cousin's wedding. This guy was there. And now this guy is like 70 something. But I remembered him immediately. And my Uncle Lance is teasing the shit out of me. This was like 40 years later. And he's still like, Callie, this is whatever. Paul, do you remember? I was just like, oh my God. So maybe Presley will meet Casey's son 40 years from now and you can roast her again about the baseball game.
I mean, technically she's about to turn 12, so there's only a 3-year difference, but he's well over 6 foot. Like he's like
yes.
He's the good dude.
He'd be an Adonis to her and so much more mature than the dudes in her class.
Also, though, when we were on our trip, we chartered a little boat to go out to this place called Crab Island, which is supposed to be like, it's this very shallow part of the ocean. And it usually has a little sandbar or whatever, and this beautiful colored water. Of course, we got shit brown water because of the chop of the storm. Thanks, Bertha. You bitch. The captain was 18 and cute. And I say cute because he's 18, so he's a child to me. Presley was like stars in her eyes. The other day, I got a text from her. She's like, hey, can you send me a picture of Captain Michael? I'm like, absolutely not.
No, I can get arrested for that.
Yeah, like, can we, listen,
pretty sure he was 18.
Boy, to lock them up from Presley and her little friends. My goodness.
Well, that's so cute, though. Well, so it was a good night for the most part. Except for next day, you're like, why? I have to say, I just said the same thing to Andrew this morning when we were at his friend's last night having wings. Some of his friends, Andrew grew up here. So he has friends for 60 years almost that they hang out together still, which I think is sweet. But they were probably 15 beers in by the time it was Wednesday. And they have jobs. I'm like, I said to Andrew this morning, there is no world where I would be up and at work this morning if I had the kind of volume of alcohol your friends had last. Are they just really practiced at it? Like I would die. Oh my God. If I had like 4 glasses of wine, not that I can't, but the next day I would be suffering. Christy's like, you're a pussy. What's going on?
No, it just depends. I mean, for me, it totally depends. It depends how much I ate. I have a high tolerance anyways. I have my whole life. It's not a practice thing, but it depends how much I've eaten.
Like, that's true.
And how long, if a bottle of wine is like 4.5 glasses, right? So if I drink that over 4 hours, I'm probably going to be just fine because your body metabolizes one drink.
Yeah.
But if I drink it in an hour
2
and
hours.
a half.
Yeah, that's it. We were only there for 2 hours and I observed them. Back when I first started dating Andrew, like 24 years ago, we used to go out with all of these guys at this bar in Stony Creek. And it was their local, and they would drink beer, and I was drinking Smirnoff Ice. And now I know you have, I know this was like early 2000s, so it was really having its rise.
Next
But
to Zima.
fun fact, in the US, Smirnoff Ice is made as a malt beverage, right? So like a beer-based beverage. In Canada, Smirnoff Ice is made with vodka. And so they would order beers and they just rounds, and they would just match. And a Smirnoff Ice came for me every time a beer came for them. And I'm like, first off, I'm going to get diabetes if I drink this much sugar. But Jesus Christ, I would be so loaded because I would have like 6 or 7 of these Smirnoffs in a 3-hour evening. And I'm like, God, I can't do it. They were having Coors Light, like 2.5%. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Can we come back to your 4.5 glasses in a bottle of wine?
Hold on. Can you say Smirnoff properly?
Smirnoff?
Smirnoff.
I'm putting a shush in it.
So rarely do I get to correct you on what you're saying that I'm going to say it again, Kelly.
Smirnoff.
That's not how you say it. You said it better that time.
You got me.
It's fine. I love you. I just never get to beat you up about how you pronounce things.
That's
and
true.
I'm going to seize the opportunity.
Take your wins. Take the win.
I'm taking the win.
Okay, let's go back to this wine topic because you just reminded me. In my early 40s, I was having just, you go to the doctor and they're like, how much alcohol do you drink? They always ask you and you lie every time. You cut it in half. And so at this particular visit, this is just a fact. It's like when the dentist asks you, do you floss? You're like, yeah, every night. The fuck? I flossed the last time you did it for me 9 months ago when I was here. Anyways, off topic. So my doctor was
bad for your heart, right?
I do.
Okay.
Dear bacteria, get out of there. So my doctor asked me how much wine, because I was I was waking up really hot. But now realize that was perimenopause starting, but hey, totally different topic. So she asked me, how much wine would you drink in a week? And then what do you think it is in a day? And I was like, I don't know, maybe a half a bottle. And she's like, so 3 glasses? It's not. And I made the same face. I'm like, how many glasses do you think are in a bottle of wine? She's like, there's 6 glasses in a bottle of wine.
She is wrong.
Girl, you're wrong. At best, I will maybe give you 4, but realistically, 3. So when you're like 4.5, I'm like, girl, there's 3 glasses in a bottle of wine. If you
hold on,
like you mean it. Mm-hmm.
Well, also too, okay, so according to the intranets, if you do a standard pour,
and what do they call a standard pour?
So
8 ounces?
5 ounces, Kelly. Then it's 5 glasses. If you are a 6 to an 8 ounce pour, it's 3 to 4. So we're more in the 6 to 8 ounce pour people. So out of curiosity, when you're at a restaurant, Christy, and they say, would you like a 5 ounce or an 8 ounce? What's your answer? What do you think it is, Kelly? It ain't fucking 5 ounces, because that's like what you take when you're testing wine at a wine tasting. Swirl, spit. Yeah, 5 ounces. No, I actually would like to enjoy a glass of wine. Don't bring me a kitty size. What the fuck? So, or if you ever had, we got bought these drinks at this fancy little restaurant. It was like a shot. It was so small. I was like, and it was not a shot. I was like, is there alcohol in that? It's like a shot. Exactly. It's a shot. And it was probably still $18. I hate that when you order. I'm so sick of how much everything costs. Can I just have a rant for a second? Yes. I went to the grocery store the other day, and first of all, I didn't go to the grocery store. I ordered groceries, and I get my produce at the farmer's market most of the time. But anyways, and what I got, I was like, how is that $300? And so my kids, we're in a whole new situation with the kids. Like, I'm explaining, Presley's like, Mom, when you talk about money, it makes me feel like you don't have any. I'm like, I don't. No, I was like, no, listen, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But Presley, like, wasting money is still wasting money. So when you start to put dinner on your plate and say, I want a bagel, and you're putting the meatloaf and mashed potatoes on I'll just have it after dinner is what you say to me. I'm like, actually, you won't have it after dinner. No, you're going to eat enough of your damn dinner so that you don't need a fucking bagel. You don't need to get a bagel after. Yes. And also your dinner should come to you in a size that you don't require a bagel after. If I'm paying $30 for it, it better be filling. I mean, It's just, I did groceries the other day and I kind of did a stock up because, we've been gone. I've been gone. I mean, basically, I was gone for 2 weeks. I was home for like a day and a half. And it was just, I was like, holy shit. And then I started explaining, Presley's like, why is food so expensive? So we get into this discussion. I'll just have you know that at a stoplight, I pulled out a chart of how the U.S. government works, like the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch. And we were talking about how war drives up the price of oil, especially if it's in, an area where it produces the most oil in the world, which is what gives you gas or makes gas and all this stuff. Presley learned a whole lot on that ride. Colton was sleeping, but yeah, we learned a lot in 15 minutes. She was like,
but Presley really only wanted to know why the milk was expensive.
But
it's all connected.
It's all tied
Presley.
together, sissy. I mean, she's like, well, wait, why are we doing this? I'm like, well, because the executive branch of our government. And she's like, so anyways, social studies on the way. Is that social studies? Is that what covers that?
I think when we were in school, that's what it was in, because it wouldn't have been in history. It would have been in social studies. Yeah. Social science, whatever they called it. Yeah. Well, anyways. I mean, my boys at that age were asking me why girls have 3 holes. So, you get into these great conversations when you're driving. Speaking of expensive, ladies who are listening, I know Christy already knows this, but I had the worst thing happen on our one stay. We packed up the car to leave the second morning. And as I was packing up one of my bags, I was like, oh, this bag is a lot. Like, there's more space in this bag than yesterday. And I didn't really think about it until 6 hours down the road later, I realized, oh, fuck, I know why there's more space, because I left my entire makeup bag, the whole thing, in the drawer of the hotel. And if you've paid for makeup, that is probably the most expensive thing in your closet most days. Andrew was like, well, what would it cost you to replace what was in the bag? Like $100, $200? I'm like, $500? Like a lot of hundreds of dollars. Oh, you're muted for some reason. Did you touch mute on your mic? I lost you.
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. What did you say?
No, I was like, well, it also depends on the makeup bag. If it's the big one with everything or if it's the little one with the essentials.
No, it was the big one because we're gone for 6 weeks. So it was my big one. I was just like, oh, crap. Not to mention we have a wedding on Saturday. So I'm like, well, I actually am going to have to get more makeup because I have to be dressed for this wedding, which I'll come back to in a second. And my daughter's like, well, Mom, and Emery, she's like basically a Sephora try before you buy. She has so many things. I just go and tinker, but her skin and my skin are very different colors. She's very pale. And so I'm like, what in the fuck am I going to wear? Anyways, I need to give a shout out to the Town Place Suites in Avon, Vale Valley, because I phoned the hotel and I was like, oh my God, I forgot my makeup bag. It is this golden brown velvet bag. It's in the first drawer of the bathroom. And they said, we'll call you back. And I fully expected that the hotel was going to say, sorry, ma'am, we couldn't find it. Because we've all had that. And you're like, the fuck, you couldn't find it. Like, there's nothing in the room.
Everyone's dividing up your shit in the back room.
Exactly. They're like, ooh, I've always wanted that mascara. Anyways, so they're like, yep, there's an official form they send me that you just write the description and then you choose how you want it shipped. So I had it shipped from Vail, Colorado to Toronto, Canada. It arrived and I had to pay for it. It was $78. I'm like, that's a lot less money than me buying all the makeup. It arrived here before I did by FedEx.
I love that.
Thank God for that. Now, I'm going to pivot real quick before I forget. I have a wedding tomorrow. No, what day is this? Thursday. Saturday. I have a wedding.
It's Thursday?
Today's Thursday, all day long. So one of my good friends who I love, and she is gorgeous and she is beautiful and she's the spiciest Italian I know. Her daughter is getting married at a very fancy place in Toronto. So I got a very fancy gown that would be indicative of a wedding in Toronto at this place in the Italian families. And it's gorgeous, formal gown, no problem. Then I found out when I got here that also this is a 2-part series. You wear a church dress to the ceremony, and then you wear a formal outfit. Yes, people, a wardrobe change for guests at this wedding. Well, listen here. I packed my bag like 5 weeks ago because my house departed my home and I've been living off of what I thought of Did I think I needed a church dress? No, I didn't. So we arrived here and yesterday I was like, motherfucker, I have to find it. I don't even know what a church dress is. Fun fact. I went on Amazon where I pulled a Christy. I'm like, I could order 20 things in Amazon. Well, not delivered next day in Waterdown, Ontario, Canada, like in Southern California. So I went, and here's a plug for Marshall's. I'm like, I'm going to Marshall's. I always have good luck at Marshall's. I had 5 choices I could choose from last night at this one Marshall's, and I chose 2 of them, and they're brilliant. But I was like, why is there a wardrobe change at this wedding? So stay tuned.
I've never even heard of that.
Also, where am I supposed to do said wardrobe change? I don't have a hotel room. We're driving. Thankfully, I have a friend in Toronto and she's like, you can come to my house and change. I know. I was like, wardrobe change. What even is
I've heard of the bride doing it.
For sure. The bride or maybe bridesmaids or maybe. Nope. So I got a church dress pretty thing. And now I have a formal gown also.
I don't even know what to say. I want to hear about this wedding, though. I do want to hear about this wedding.
It's going to be great. And my girlfriend, I know it. We were just saying last night, her name is Maria and her husband is Frank. And they are the most fabulous, over-the-top extra friends you could ever have.
That.
And she's always feeding you. Like, she's just so quintessential Italian mom. And she's fucking beautiful. I know this whole week she will be freaking out. She's probably in her kitchen right now making way too many hors d'oeuvres and things for people because you will never be hungry at Maria's house. But I know she's going to be over the top. And their whole family is leaving post-wedding, including the bride and groom, for a family moon in Italy.
Wow. Do they need to add to that family? Are there any single men in this family that would like a curvy, blonde 47-year-old that's sassy but super loving?
Let me ask when I'm there. Let me check it out. Actually, maybe I'll find one of them at this. Maybe he'll be one of the groomsmen. No, that groomsman will be too young, but I can definitely do a look-see.
Well, you never know. I mean,
they do own a house in Italy. So they do own a house in Italy. Like my girl, she's fancy. She's fancy. I love her. It's going to be great. It's going to be so great. But that there was a wardrobe change. I was like, I did not have that on my bingo card. God bless my other 2 girlfriends who are going, who asked the question and then found out the answer. Because I would have been like, oh no, poor me. I wore the same thing to 5 p.m. and 7 p.m.
It's that short too. It's not like
I feel like it. I'd have to go back to the invite. I don't know.
Speaking of life being a production.
Yes. Good segue.
I think on that note, you need to go. Go ahead.
You need to go I need to go do my big girl job so I can afford to give a gift to the bride and groom at this fancy ass wedding.
No shit.
The good news is they live in the U.S. They live in the U.S. So I'm like, I'm going to give them U.S. dollars because that's what I get paid in. But
amazing. I love that. I wish I'd have asked for more cash for my wedding. Anyways, moving on. Maybe I'll get married again, and this time
don't do that. No, just have girlfriends, and then you can get what you need from men on the side.
Okay, that is a very different podcast that I'm sure we will have at some point. But Kelly, until next time, doll, have so much fun at the wedding.
Thank you.
Turn your location share on because I can't see where you are and I don't like that.
Okay. Even I got a new phone and even Andrew and Em can't see where I am. So something's setting is weird on my phone, but I can.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
Stay tuned for the next adventures. At least I'm planted here for the next 5 weeks before I fly to the UK and then move into the house that I've never set foot in. But apparently, according to my husband, is gorgeous. So stay tuned. I'm glad we finally caught up. We can't do too many of these 3-week hiatuses because they're just no good for our souls.
They're just not. So next week we'll do. We'll see you next week. We'll see everyone next week.
Okay, bye. Like, follow, share.
Bye.